There's nothing more exciting than having a baby. Babies are an incredible gift from God. Have you ever wondered why God decided women would be pregnant for 9 months before giving birth? I don't know exactly what God was thinking, but I imagine a part of the reason might have been to give the parents time to get ready. After all, having a baby really does change your life. When a young couple finds out they are pregnant, there are lots of things to do to get ready. Prenatal exams, parenting classes, maybe a Lamaze class, get a nursery ready, trade in the sports car for a minivan, readjust the budget to include baby food, clothes, toys, furniture for the nursery, car seats, strollers, and of course, let's not forget diapers. All of this with one less income, or if you are both still going to work, don't forget to add in several $100s a month for daycare. Yes, when you find out you are pregnant, there are lots of things to do to get ready physically, but you also have to get ready mentally. You have to realize and accept that things are going to change. Once that baby comes, even if you wanted to, you can't send it back. Things will never be the same. Typically, expectant parents are excited and spend months getting ready. But what if they don't know they are pregnant? What would happen if they missed the signs that they were pregnant? I was flipping the channels on TV recently and I came across a health documentary called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. I watched an episode where a woman was taken to the hospital in an ambulance convinced that she was dying. The hospital personnel questioned her about her symptoms as they rushed her into an emergency room. When they asked her if she was pregnant, she said no. As the doctors physically checked to see if she was pregnant, she vehemently told them that she wasn't. Moments later, as a baby started coming out of her, it was obvious to everyone in the room, except for the mother, that she was pregnant. It wasn't until she saw the baby with her own eyes that she accepted that she had been pregnant. Even then, she kept asking, how could this happen? For some reason, she had missed the signs. Babies are so full of life and potential. As you look at them, you can't help but wonder what lies ahead of them in the future. When I listen to the media and the different people I run into, it seems like everyone is apprehensive or afraid of what might be coming. From a worldly perspective, I suppose that makes sense. After all, economic depression and wars or rumors of wars can be pretty scary. However, I cannot shake this sense of excitement about what is coming. Not because I don't see these same things, but because I do see them. The difference is I know that these situations are ripe and fertile ground for God to work in. What if God is allowing these things to happen in order to shake things up so that people will reevaluate their lives? What if these are exactly the tools that God is using to bring this world to Himself? It's during times like this that people tend to pull back, to regroup and prepare themselves to ride out the storm. But what if instead of burrowing in to ride out the storm, we call out to God to let us be a part of what He is doing? I believe that we are living in one of the most exciting times of this world's history. As I look at the events around us, I sense that we are experiencing birth pangs. Yes, birth pangs can really be difficult, and you might even want to scream, but there is nothing more exciting. I didn't physically birth our children, but I was there trying to coach Kathy. I remember when a major contraction would hit her, her body would tense up and it would almost take her breath away. Right now, as a ministry, we are feeling the pain of the birthing process. I probably should have paid more attention in that Lamaze class. These past few months, some things going on around us have taken my breath away, and I find myself literally changing my breathing patterns. It hurts. It's even a bit scary, but I can't help but feel the excitement as I hear the Holy Spirit calling for us to push. Jesus chastised the Pharisees, saying, "You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times." The events that are taking place in the Middle East and in our world economy, as well as in the church at large, are clear signs that time is short. The signs are there for those who will recognize them. In Mark chapter 13, Jesus said, "And when you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be frightened. Those things must take place. But that is not yet the end. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places. There will also be famines. These things are merely the beginning of birth pangs." God is on the move. Something is being birthed. Christ's life is just one part of the Lord's bride through which He is moving. As a ministry, we've been recognizing the signs of the times and have been diligently making the preparations God has been directing us to make. We have rewritten our manuals and worked with professional editors and graphic artists to prepare them to be distributed on a broader level. We have begun developing promotional materials and are preparing to launch our first ever promotional campaign. Time is of the essence, so we are developing new avenues of access through which more people will be able to receive the life-changing message embedded in the Christ Life Solution. This fall, we will begin filming a new teaching DVD series designed to be used in a church small group system or in individual home groups not connected to a specific church, or even by individuals who do not have a group setting available to them. I feel a bit like Joshua or Caleb when they came back with the other spies from checking out the Promised Land. They all saw the same things. They all saw the fortified cities and giants. But while the other 10 spies were afraid and wanted to withdraw, Joshua and Caleb were emboldened to press forward and take possession of the land. They reminded the people that the Lord was with them, and because of that, they should not be afraid of the giants. The problems of today's world really are giants. But just as the Lord was with the Israelites, He is with us today. And because of that, we need not be afraid. Yes, we are all amazed when we hear stories about women who go to the hospital because they are experiencing pain, only to find out they are pregnant and deliver a baby that day. We all wonder, how did they miss the signs? Well, if you haven't been paying attention to the signs, I've got news for you. You're pregnant. Like a parent who gives birth to their first child, your life is about to radically change. In order for us to collectively birth our part of God's unfolding plan for these troubling times, we must all work together. If you are a part of this Christ-Life family, I want to challenge you to stand up and take responsibility for what is being birthed. I don't know exactly what that looks like for you, but God does. Maybe it is becoming a facilitator at your church, or maybe it's starting a Christ Life group in your home with a few of the people you are in contact with. Maybe it is volunteering to help with administrative or media issues at the Christ Life headquarters, or just making phone calls to members of our Christ Life family to encourage them to continue on their journey. Whatever God is calling you to do, let me encourage you. No, let me implore you as a fellow member of this body to not sit idly by and ignore the signs. In addition to being actively involved with your time, let me remind you that the birthing process is expensive. This past year, as we stared in the face of the giant called global economic meltdown, we chose to not shrink back, but to take bold steps of faith into the land we believe that God is leading us. John Marquez and I have taken personal pay cuts, and many of you have made personal financial sacrifices in order to fund what God is birthing in and through Christ Life Ministries. But if we are going to bring this baby to full term, it is going to take the entire Christ Life family working together. There is still more work to be done to bring about what God is birthing. If you are not already actively giving to Christ Life, let me encourage you to join John and myself and your other Christ Life family members by investing in what God is doing through this ministry by beginning to help fund Christ Life on a monthly basis with whatever amount God leads you to do. Now is not the time for us to shrink back. Now is not the time for us to give in. Now is the time to push.